Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. Today we are going to look at our recap of the 2014 NFL football season. Who was right, who was wrong?
Me. And Glen Moray, 12-year.
Let's test it.
Test it. Every year preseason, we're going to do our NFL football picks. Then, when it's over, we're going to come back and see who performed better.
Let's see how we did.
Let's see how we did. So real quick, before we...
If you haven't watched it, the Doers 12, several episodes back, well, it was right before the NFL season started. Go watch it. If you want to, you can see how we did. We're going to touch on it here real quick and let you know.
Yeah, you said go watch it. Like when
watch it.
Scotch Test Dummy. NFC West. I picked San Francisco. You were kind of silent.
I would have had to call Seattle, which I didn't want to do just because we're Broncos fans and no decent Broncos fans could call Seattle, so I actually remained silent on that.
But San Fran did really good.
I actually, if you go watch, I said San Francisco was not good and they were going to buckle.
Yeah,
and they did.
Kaepernick did not do well.
Kapersky was exposed.
NFC South. I picked Atlanta. You picked New Orleans. I said that Breeze is getting old and he can no longer carry the team, although he might be able to do it until the year 2035.
Neither one. Actually, the NFC South was a weak division. When Carolina won the division at like 7-9 or something like that, that's just not a good division.
Yeah, neither of us did too good there. Although I got to say, Breeze really is, I mean, I love the guy, but he's fading.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not calling it quits on him, but it was not a good season.
If I had a fantasy league, he would not be my quarterback, that's all I'm saying.
He'd be my back. Maybe a backup. Oh, yeah, he was always on the top round.
Yeah, because he's throw, baby. We had the NFC North, which was a little more interesting. I picked Green Bay, and I think you did too, but we had a little side discussion on Cutler.
Chicago, I stood by Cutler. He's an ex-Bronco. He's good. I'll take him. He's my quarterback, but this year...
No, well, here's the deal. I mentioned it. I saw a deal where Steve Young did some commentary when they were breaking down plays, and I saw this maybe a year or two ago, and he said the mechanics aren't there. And he'd even mentioned that at some point he'd like given him coaching advice or something, and he was like, pfft. And it's showing. So he's about done, I think. So my point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he can be fixed.
If you'll listen to a quarterback coach and do a 7-step, what is it, a 7-step drop and do it on the deal, or is it a full 7?
Oh, well, it's different.
Yeah, I know, but there's a set one that Young talked about. If you look at Young, when he played, it was the same. I mean, you might as well be watching the same thing again and again and again and again. And the consistency is king. That and having a good head for reading the D, which is maddening.
You're spending a lot of time talking, dude. You're supposed to be quick, and you're going.
I think you're upset because I did way better than you.
Let's see.
NFC East. We both picked Philly. Enough said. Done. Are we done with that one? You want to say something?
Moving on.
Something to say.
Moving on. Philadelphia.
AFC East. You did not. I said Patriots. I said Brady was enthusiastic. You mocked Brady.
We're gonna get to that when we talk about the Super Bowl.
Okay,
but I was silent on that as well. I hated. Well, you got to pick New England.
He said nothing.
They're in a division with Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets. I had New England. Same as Seattle. I'm not gonna pick.
I thought Miami would be the second, but yeah, he stays mute and then says, "Well, that's who I meant."
I actually figured it's not who I meant.
See,
but. I hate to pick them. I mean, I knew the Broncos were going to be coming toe-to-toe with the Patriots during the season.
But he hated on Brady nonstop. If you want to go back and watch, it's there. AFC North. Steelers, and I have a Steelers question mark for you.
Well, you started to speed it up there because you were like, boom, done.
Yeah,
Steelers,
I think under the deal, he was like hitting my leg saying,
he was doing the same thing. He was talking, and it drug on for a little bit.
I rarely talk.
And he threw me with that because he's like, Steelers next. Done. And I was like, taken aback a little bit.
True.
Like, okay.
Steelers done, next, finished, blue.
Steelers are the Ravens, so that's a tough division right now with those two teams.
AFC South, I picked Houston, and you had?
Indianapolis.
Indy. Yeah, I was way off on that one.
Indy's going to be tough to beat in that division for a while with Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Luck's a stud.
Yep.
And, of course, by default, we both picked the Broncos in the AFC West.
That's right.
They did well. You know, I had some people that were saying, what's going on when they started running more, and I knew Manning had to be hurt.
And if you go back to the St. Louis game about mid-season, and they say, well, he got taken advantage of because he couldn't pass, and so the Broncos were done. So that's why we decided to go with the run. And I think Peyton Manning probably got injured in that game, and they just never released it. Because after that they were, and I wasn't that surprised when they lost, when the Broncos lost in the first round of the playoffs. I wasn't that shocked.
Well, when he could have scampered for 5 yards and got a first down, and he forced in what would be a very difficult throw, I said something's wrong. My mom actually called me. By the way, go watch the Kragan Morning. You can see my mom. She called and said, "What's going on?" I go, "He's got to be hurt." Any other time, any quarterback runs that for 5 and you go out of bounds,
especially with his experience.
Yeah, it had to be killing him to run. I mean, it had to be pain.
Good point.
So, and then it comes down to the Super Bowl pick. I picked Broncos versus Seattle, and you got
50%. You got the Seahawks in there. I went Broncos Packers. Packers made it to the title game. They should have beat the Seahawks. Probably, they gave that one away.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
Yeah,
Seahawks got lucky.
Although that was fun to watch.
That was a good game to watch. Well, yeah, I was rooting for Green Bay naturally since I hadn't picked.
But you got to admit, seeing them come from behind like that and really bring it, and just, you know, no games out of reach. I love the NFL. That was the NFL in a nutshell. Just exciting, fun. You can see the team come together, coalesce, never give up.
Yeah.
Love it.
So Super Bowl, though,
we did pretty good.
Patriots and Seattle comes down to the last play. Very good. Patriots
win.
Now, here's my theory.
Yeah.
And you're going to believe this once I tell you.
Okay.
That wasn't Tom Brady playing this year.
It was a Cylon.
I'm just telling you, when you put the helmet on, you can't tell who's in that uniform. And they had somebody else playing for Tom Brady.
Oh, you're crazy.
It's like that movie Pure Country. Was that it? With George Strait, where he was.
No. You're talking about Breakback Mountain.
Breakback Mountain.
Isn't that what it's called?
I'm telling you.
What's it called?
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, see, I've never seen it.
Pure Country. Oh. When you put that, I think it was a very staged, illusional act. Tom Brady was not playing. They would show him on the sideline, and then you would see somebody else with the helmet on. Tom Brady that wasn't Tom Brady this year.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. He's a passionate player. You just don't like him. He's good. He's got some skills. He is attractive. He's pretty. Got a pretty wife.
Glen Moray 12.
Glen Moray 12. Now this is your dad's Scotch.
This is a Speyside. Yes, my dad got this for his birthday, and I quickly snatched it from him.
He steals his dad's birthday present.
I said, I'm going to need that for a while.
We're doing a review on it. You'll see it at some time in the future.
So we got to give it back to him though now. But he's been all right. He's like, yeah, do it, take it, shoot it.
He likes it. I get a sherry.
This is. Well, we'll talk price point when we're done. On the nose, with it neat, it's got a very excellent nose. It's very floral. Yeah, it's very fruity.
See, I started to say excellent, but this is your type. This is a citrus and a fruity sherry. Clean.
I get a pear.
Yeah,
maybe
refreshing.
Maybe like an orange zest. And a really sweet, like a cotton candy sugar.
Oh, no. I don't get that. I just get a sherry and a citrus, but cotton
no sherry,
sugar.
Yeah,
you don't smell the plum.
It was very sweet. No, it's very sweet. It reminded me of smelling cotton candy as it was making when it's in the deal and it's spinning around, and you like get close to it. You know,
it is fun thing to watch as a child. So,
the taste neat. To me, it had a very good mouthfeel. It is 40% and it's delicious, neat. It's not overpowering at all.
40% it shouldn't be.
Yeah. The taste, though, does not deliver as much citrus as is what is on the nose.
No, I get a very nice, soft mouthfeel. And I get a little bit of maltiness with a hint of spice, maybe. What do I have in here? Yeah. And then with a very nice, smooth and light finish. This should be right up your alley.
A very slight maltiness. Very slight citrus. Very light. A pear.
You know when I would drink this? I couldn't imagine when I would drink it because it's so light and feathery on my palate. I think in the middle of summer, I could see me drinking this. Because, you know, I used to be all peat all the time, and I would find myself in the middle of summer that I wasn't really wanting a peaty Scotch. Yeah. I could see me having this. It's got almost a hint of lemonness in it. Maybe that's
it's very fresh. It's very refreshing. Maybe it'd even be good for a summer cocktail, Scotch cocktail.
What kind of cocktail? What are you talking about?
Rusty nail. There's a couple of other ones out there people are using Scotch with now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's so light. This is one that I would drink on its own on a hot summer day when normally I used to kind of trail out of Scotch during the hotter days. I can see me doing this.
Anyway, I'd looked this up online after we tasted it because I wanted to see what the price point was on it. And there was a big liquor store out in Denver that had this for $29.99.
Wow. So that would fit under our 5 under 35.
But for $29.99, I would almost make this an everyday Scotch.
Yeah, well, this is up your alley.
It's definitely something at that price point that you could always keep around.
Sure. I mean, I give this my malt mark. I'll let you get yours up. My malt mark is an 85. This is probably one of my lower malt marks, but again, this would fit in great during the summer. It's hot out. Normally, this is not the Scotch I would gravitate to. Nothing against it at all, but I would definitely see this as a lighter, sweeter summer Scotch for me.
I went with an 87.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at this price point, I got to tell you, it's very smooth at that price point.
That's probably what pushes it. The price point is going to push it up. If this was $60 or $70, I'm probably going to say, you know, it's not worth $60 or $70.
Well, what gets me at the price point is usually you got a little bit more harshness at the price point, where this is smooth and light and feathery. Yeah. And it's really got, and that hint of spice I like.
It could easily be a $40 to $50 Scotch, probably.
Yeah, I wish its ABV was a little higher. I think if they came out with a higher ABV, it would pepper it up for me a little bit, and I think it would move up a little bit more.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know what range they have with the Glen Moray.
This was so light for me, I did not add any water to this at all. I didn't. I already felt like maybe they brought it down a little bit too watery for me. That's the only slight that brings it down for me.
And back to our Scottish pronunciations, this probably isn't pronounced Glen Moray.
This is a Glen
Morayana.
Morlette.
Glen Morana.
Morlette. It's not even Glen. This is actually Glanja.
Grana. Mola.
All right, once again, the guy with the bagpipes and the kilt's like, I will kill them if I see that.
I kill you until you die from it.
I will kill you. All right, so, hey, our football picks, we will see you next year in August. Next year, it's this year.
Well, later this year.
Yeah, we'll see you later this year in August when we'll do our 2015 picks, and we'll see if I'm the genius again.
Yep. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
And don't forget, give them our Audible link to go to.
audibletrial.com/Scotch Test Dummies.
And I'll recommend the very first book I got when I did my 30-day free trial. You get 1 free credit. That's your book to keep forever. So I went on there and found a book that was kind of a grail book that I'd wanted to read for a long time, but it's huge. It's The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by Shire. It normally would be like $38. I used my free credit, got it, and I'm telling you, that hooked me. That audio book was so good, I went and found a copy of the book to read on my own. And if you haven't listened to or read Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, phenomenal. That's all I'm going to say. All right, Scotch Test Dummies.
Cilantro Dummies.
Scotch Gods.
Later.